Remember this: 755 grams of human elixir, 300 grams of balsam seed, and 900 grams of sunrise stones. Light the oven at 3 a.m. Use your eyes to illuminate it silently, your breath to stoke it, and your spirit to fumigate it. Raise the heat slowly and turn on the furnace at 4 in the morning. Li Huo Wang said that he would record the formula on his robe. The master looked at his disciple, but didn't say a word. The protagonist then asked him to take a look and see if he got everything correct. But the master kicked him straight in the face, sending him flying. Huo Wang wondered why he had just been hit. He was aware that his writing wasn't pretty, but it was readable. This maniac didn't even look at it and seemed more concerned about having the recipe written down. The protagonist then remembered that every bit of information is passed on orally, and there is nothing written in this temple. This might mean that the master doesn't know how to read. But then, who is the one that reads the heavenly book he mentioned for him? Someone then came and said that he didn't expect this. The master was somehow manipulated to teach him the formula from the heavenly book. Huo Wang answered that it was the master's will to share the secrets of the heavenly book, and he has no say in it. Then he told Zheng Kun to step aside because he was busy preparing some ingredients. The senior disciple immediately attacked his fellow disciple without warning. Zheng Kun screamed that the protagonist didn't deserve all the attention he was receiving from their master. How dare you learn the formula before me, when I was with the master for so many years? Huo Wang answered that it seemed his senior brother had no talent when it came to cultivating immortality. Otherwise, how could he explain learning nothing after following the master for so many years? Zheng Kun lost it and viciously attacked his junior brother, sending him flying into the wall and declaring that he would die if he continued on this path. Sometime later, Zhuanyuan asked Huo Wang why he was looking for trouble. He had already warned him about Zheng Kun's temperament, so why was he provoking him? The protagonist answered that he wouldn't kill him because, if more disciples died, there would be no one to maintain the place. Also, the wandering god is watching over them, so nothing bad will happen. Zhuanyuan asked the protagonist what this wandering god was that he was talking about. Huo Wang realized that this disciple didn't know about the wandering god. Also, Zhuanyuan and his group didn't try to escape on the 1st or 15th of the month. Zheng Kun also wasn't taught the art of becoming immortal, which means the master didn't teach his disciples anything. Zhuanyuan asked why his fellow disciple was acting crazy after all. He had already been treated. Li Huo Wang had finally found a way to start his plan to eliminate the master. After all this, the protagonist found the opportunity to create another conflict with Zheng Kun in order to let him know about the wandering god. Seeing the expression of the senior disciple, the protagonist knew that something was going to happen. So he kept observing in secret. But Zheng Kun only continued training as usual. But 1 month later, on the 15th of February, when the master was refining pills, Zheng Kun didn't show up for training as he usually did. At Dan Yangyi's residence, Huo Wang noticed Zheng Kun keeping watch while someone was inside. It looked suspicious for the senior disciple to be watching outside someone else's residence. He then noticed someone coming out of the house. It was Zhuanyuan, another one of the official disciples. They had a short conversation, and after doing some strange hand signs, they both disappeared. The protagonist noticed they had left and decided to take advantage of the situation, because the seal on the door had already been lifted by the previous intruders. Once inside, the first thing he noticed was the bad smell. It reeked of dead rats. After looking around for some time, he finally found something worth checking. It was a stone tablet with lots of writing on it. The protagonist assumed that this must be the heavenly book that the master, Dan Yongzi, mentioned. It was hard to read, but after he managed to go through most of the text, it became clear that it contained no alchemy methods. So how did the master manage to refine pills with it? At that moment, something behind him asked, if he was with the person who had been there earlier. Then she told Huo Wang to move, because she could summon the master if she shook the bells once. The protagonist smirked and told her to go ahead and shake the bells. He would be able to tell the master that she had tricked him by lying about what was written in the heavenly scripture. That flustered her, and she asked how he had managed to find out. The protagonist now knew for sure that she was the one who had come up with the formulas for Dan Yongzi. She said that the master forced her to read the scripture for him. It wasn't her fault. Huo Wang asked if she wasn't afraid that he would find out. She answered that the master was illiterate, so he just believed whatever she told him. He asked if the alchemy formula that used people as ingredients was something she had made up. She answered that yes, it was something she remembered from some old formula, but he didn't have to worry, because the result was not harmful. Although, she was worried that if the master found out, he would deem her useless and send her away. Li Huo Wang grabbed the vase, startling her, then forcefully threw it to the ground, destroying it. The vase girl started screaming that it hurt. The protagonist stated that the formula she made up didn't harm people who ingested the pills, but because of her, a lot of people were eaten by Dan Yongzi. The girl was trying to crawl away while screaming about how much it hurt. Sometime later, everyone in the sect was summoned. The master was mumbling, "Who dared to mess with me? Who was it?" At the same time, Huo Wang was thinking, "It has begun." Dan Yongzi showed everyone the dead vase girl and asked who had secretly broken into his house while he was refining elixirs. Seeing that no one answered made him even angrier. He then decided he would ask everyone, one by one. He started by asking Chongming and Changren what they were doing while he was refining elixirs. Chongming answered that they were guarding the gate of the temple, just as instructed. They would never dare be reckless or go against their master's orders. Dan Yongzi then asked Zhuan Yuan what he was doing at the time. While the disciple gave his answer, the protagonist thought, next. Meanwhile, Guo was shaking uncontrollably. The master said it was now Huo Wang's turn and asked where he had gone after delivering the medicine. The protagonist answered that he went to the warehouse to prepare elixir materials. The oppressive aura of the master was overwhelming. He was incredibly intimidating. The old man turned to everyone and asked if anyone saw the protagonist at the warehouse. Complete silence. No one responded. The master then said that whoever helped solve this mystery would be allowed to return home. Bai Ling Miao stepped forward and announced that she saw disciple Huo Wang at the warehouse. She could vouch for him because they were together. The master asked if she was sure, then asked if anyone else had seen him. Guo raised his hand and said he could answer. Huo Wang hadn't visited the warehouse at all that day. Everyone was shocked. This was the first real clue. Guo claimed he had identified the culprits and asked if he could now go home. Dan Yongzi screamed, "Nonsense." Huo Wang delivered the primer as usual. Where did he get it from, if not the warehouse? Then he asked Guo if he was so eager to die by his hands. The small man begged for forgiveness. He was blinded by greed and had lied. Disciple Zhuanyun waited silently. Suddenly, a piece of flesh was thrown into his face. The master declared that he had seen him laughing when Huo Wang was wrongly accused. "Why are you so happy watching your fellow disciple being falsely accused?" he asked. Overwhelmed by fear, Zhuanyun lost his composure, collapsed to the ground, and, while struggling to speak, confessed that it wasn't him, it was Zheng Kun. The senior disciple had forced him. Zheng Kun was shocked by the betrayal. The master was equally surprised that his most senior disciple would turn on him. Zheng Kun tried to flee. The master said he should have realized it was him earlier. After all, he was the only one capable of removing the restrictions from his room. But the master never allowed anyone to come and go freely into that space. Dan Yongzi took a coin and threw it. The moment the coin hit the ground, he stomped on it. Simultaneously, something snapped inside Zheng Kun's head. As the coin shattered, All of Jung Kun's limbs were severed from his body. Everyone watched in horror as the helpless disciple crawled along the ground, begging for mercy, repeating that he was wrong, and that he was sorry. He reminded the master of the time when his two younger brothers had sacrificed their lives, so both of them could escape. Dan Yongzi replied that he understood what Jung Kun was trying to do, but it wouldn't work. The senior disciple pleaded, saying he was now useless and no longer a threat, so there was no reason to kill him. But the master had no intention of forgiving. He concluded, Jung Kun is just like his younger brothers, a bunch of wolves that cannot be raised. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The protagonist informed the master that he had finished. The master declared that after Huo Wong finished paying his respects, he would be the favored disciple. Everyone congratulated the new senior brother on gaining this position. The master told Huo Wong to follow him, and the protagonist thought, the moment has finally arrived. A bit later, Dan Yongzi recalled that his disciple could read. Huo Wong confirmed that he could. The master said it was good his skill was needed. The old man proceeded to unlock the seal on the heavenly book and asked his disciple to read it and try to understand it. Huo Wong approached the scripture, thinking about how the vase girl had created a cultivation formula from nothing. He would also need to create a good one, otherwise his secret would be exposed. He then declared that he understood what was written. The master urged him to hurry and explain the teachings of the heavenly book. Huo Wong said he had read the entire thing, but couldn't find the recipe for the blood-nourishing elixir he had been taught. Dan Yongzi, confused, told him to check again. Huo Wong explained that the heavenly scripture was a collection of internal cultivation techniques and guidance for absorbing external elixirs. The master showed interest in both types. Huo Wong listed ingredients for one of the external elixirs, and then mentioned the wandering god, necessary for soul refinement. He asked what the wandering god was. Dan Yongzi stated that the vase girl had always claimed the scripture kept changing and was impossible to memorize. It was no wonder she had never achieved immortality. She had deceived him all this time. The master then asked if Huo Wong was also trying to deceive him. Huo Wong replied that he truly wished to become immortal. How could he deceive the one who would help him do that? The master took a moment to think. Then he asked his disciple to explain the cultivation technique. After hearing it, he declared that they should master this internal technique before attempting to refine external elixirs. The two of them would ascend to immortality, master and disciple. Thank you for watching the third part of series, The Path of Weird Immortals. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Please let me know in the comments if you like this genre, or what is your favorite.